Something I want to talk about today is what I have learned in my life. I learned it in a weird way early on. And I say that because I was honestly represented or shown it in a, not exactly in a very rightful way. Like, I wasn't taught it directly, okay? What I'm talking about is honesty. It is that honesty is the best value. It is the best thing you can do in any situation. Is be honest, right? I didn't even know this was as deep as it was until I grew up more and became more mature. But I wasn't modeled this. That's the word I was looking for. I wasn't modeled honesty in a very normal way. I was honestly modeled the opposite of it in a lot of ways. I mean, I was always told not to lie. I was always told to, be honest. Don't lie to, your mom, your dad, because why would you? But there was a lot of dishonesty in the household. There was a lot of dishonesty between my parents, and that inevitably had an effect on me, right? Because you watch that, you see it happen. Just like with anybody's parents, when you don't see them practice what they preach, it leads to some weird situations, right? It's life. It's what happens. Nobody's perfect. Nobody's journey is perfect. We're meant to have issues. We're meant to have challenges. If I didn't have these challenges growing up, if I didn't see what I didn't want to be like growing up, I wouldn't be who I am today, right? And that's how we should all feel. But my point is that from that young age, I saw dishonesty day in and day out, and I saw the way it affected the relationship between everybody in the household. I witnessed the hands-on effect it would have from the way you feel about somebody, the way you feel about what they say, the way you feel about what they mean behind their words. All of these things were coming into correlation or circulation with what I was thinking at the time as this young kid. So I grew up and got a little bit older and started going through life, I would say, with some dishonesty. I mean, I was still very young at this point, but I remember just not being truthful with myself more than anything, but being dishonest with others in some ways of, just how I felt in certain situations, just to kind of glaze things over, right? And as I grew up and developed, this kind of began to be more than anything. Again, it was with myself. It was being dishonest with where I was at personally, with how I felt about life, with how I felt about myself, with how I felt about my parents, with how I felt about everything. I was dishonest to myself, and it started to show. I started to have these negative effects. I was unhealthy. I played video games all the time. Is what it was. I'm not saying that I did that because I was being dishonest, but the unhealthiness, the lack of social ability, it's a direct reflection of me not being honest in those young ages, right? Where I thought playing the games was okay. In the back of my mind, my conscience was like, man, you need to get out there and experience. You need to get out there and be more social, or it's going to have a bad effect. But I avoided it when I wasn't honest with myself. I said, oh, it's fine. I'm having fun, right? That's what we do, especially as young kids. But being able to reflect on that and see that that's what led us to certain moments in our life or certain situations, that is maturity. So yeah, I'm talking about me being a kid here and blaming things on myself, but it is what it is, right? So plenty of others have had very similar childhoods to mine, and don't get me wrong, mine was full of blessings, just like all of us are. But being modeled that dishonesty and that not understanding the purpose of honesty in a relationship completely, like seeing it play out, what the absence of honesty in a true relationship is, helped me so much in my life and when I grew up, when I got mature, in understanding what I wanted to be like in a relationship, what I wanted to be like for my family. Now, of course, I had to play out my path, and this dishonesty that I had early on in life manifested into my older life, my teenage years, my relationships then with friends, with family, with girlfriends, that kind of thing. My inability to be honest and be straightforward and not avoid reality. I started avoiding reality more and more. I started being more and more dishonest and not being who I really wanted to be. And I think we all do that. I think we all forget how to be ourselves. And that's part of life, right? But it's whether or not we choose to be honest with ourselves and come back to reality and see where it is that we truly are compared to where it is we would like to be. And accepting the reality and the truth that is we can get out of our situation. We have power. We have control. But so much of the time we lie to someone else. We lie to ourselves and say that it's their fault. It's that person's fault. We put our power outside of ourselves. And as soon as we do that, what are we doing? We don't have power anymore. As soon as we say that's not my fault, good luck trying to change it then, Bryn, We must be honest with ourselves. We must have honesty as the backbone of the decisions we make. That we want to be honest and congruent with who we are, how we view the world, and what we want for the world and ourselves and our family. That all has to be congruent, meaning it all has to line up with our inner values, our inner sense of self that keeps us straight in the world. And what's the absence of this look like? Well, when you're out of alignment, when you're out of congruence, when all of your actions are just pleasuring you, they're not built upon the foundation of purposeful living, which so many of us live nowadays. And this all can be traced back to us being dishonest with how we truly feel. Us being dishonest about our past, about our present moment, about the things that we went through as a child. How, we can play the victim card, we can play the pity card, how everything is everybody else's fault and pity me. That's completely dishonest. What you're doing is giving all your power away, asking others to feel bad for you so you can get some handouts, and not accepting that you have such incredible power as a human being. That is dishonesty at its key, my friend. At its very key, at its very heart, it is the avoidance of our true potential, of our true understanding of life. That we are in control, we're in the driver's seat, and we can take the boat wherever we'd like. Instead of being dishonest and, for the sake of that analogy, drunk driving the boat, right? Not having any sort of destination and just pleasurably driving wherever it is the boat feels like it. Crashing. Burning out. So, I digress. Take a step back from where it is. If you're not in a good place in life, if you are stuck in the dumps, not where you want to be, take a step back and think about how you got there. And be honest with yourself. Because nobody else is going to be. Not in the way that you need to be. Take a look in the mirror. Accept what it is you need to accept. Work through the issues that maybe have been deep-seated since a child. And be more of that individual who can solve the problems in their life, who can fix issues and be a person of power, of potential, of great understanding. Because we all have this same great potential to do anything. But we all learn to be dishonest with ourselves and put ourselves down to the lower depths of living where we're in hell, where we don't know what tomorrow looks like and there's no sense of fulfillment or excitement. It's just momentary pleasure after momentary pleasure, which leads to momentary destruction, time after time. So, I hope this helps. I hope you enjoyed this today. If you got anything from it, please comment below. Let me know. If you have any questions about anything, let me know. Share this with someone who needs to hear it. Guys, we're all going to get this going, man. We're going to make this world a better place. You see, we already are. Or we're making it a worse place, one individual at a time. It's up to us in our every interaction between other humans to make it a better place, to allow our greatness and potential to flow effortlessly between us all, between the conscious collective. We have this in our back pocket. But if we're dishonest, we forget about it all. That's all I got. Go crush it.